Your dealer just quoted you $4,500 to rebuild your engine, or maybe $6,000 for a replacement. And somewhere in that conversation, they mentioned that your car has high mileage, and maybe it's time to start thinking about something newer. That's not a coincidence. That's a business model. There is an engine swap that adds 200,000 miles to almost any car on the road right now. It costs between $800 and $2,500 depending on your vehicle. And the automotive industry has been quietly lobbying to make it illegal for the past decade. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what this swap is, which engines to use, how much it actually costs, and why every major car manufacturer on the planet does not want you to know this exists. Let's start with why modern engines fail early. Because this isn't bad luck. It's engineering. The average engine, built between 2005 and 2015, was designed with a specific lifespan in mind. Not maximum lifespan. Optimal lifespan, from a manufacturer's perspective. That number is somewhere between 150,000 and 180,000 miles. Enough to get you through your loan. Enough to make the car feel reliable for the first 7 years, and then just unreliable enough to push you back into a dealership showroom. The tools they use to hit that number are everywhere once you know what to look for. Timing chains that stretch instead of snap, so the failure is slow and expensive rather than sudden and obvious. Turbochargers bolted onto engines that were never designed for forced induction, because turbos add performance numbers on paper and failure points in reality. Direct injection systems that carbon foul intake valves because there's no fuel washing over them anymore. And ECU systems so deeply integrated that replacing a single sensor requires a $200 diagnostic appointment just to identify the problem. None of this is accidental. These are engineering decisions, and every one of them shortens the life of your engine while making the repair process more expensive and more dependent on the dealership network. The swap I'm going to show you reverses all of that. The concept is straightforward. You take a mechanically complex, electronically dense modern engine out of a solid chassis, and you replace it with a proven, simple, overbuilt engine that has a documented history of running past 400,000 miles. Not a newer engine, not a more powerful engine, a simpler one, with fewer failure points, widely available parts, and a mechanical architecture that any competent independent mechanic can work on without proprietary software. Here are the 4 swaps that make the most sense right now. First, if you're running a Ford EcoBoost 1.5 or 1.6 liter, one of the most failure-prone engines Ford has produced in the last 20 years, known for coolant intrusion into the cylinders and catastrophic head gasket failures, the swap is a Honda K24. The K24 is a 2.4-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder that Honda produced in various forms from 2001 to 2015. Over 3 million units built, parts available at any auto parts store for under $30. No turbo, no intercooler, no complex variable boost management, just a clean, robust engine that routinely hits 300,000 miles with basic maintenance. Second, BMW N20 and N26 owners. The N20 is a turbocharged 2.0-liter 4-cylinder used in the 3 Series, 5 Series, and X3 from 2012 onward. Known for timing chain failures, oil consumption issues, and a repair bill that often exceeds the value of the car by 80,000 miles. The swap is the BMW M 54 3.0-liter inline 6, naturally aspirated, no turbo. A completely different engineering philosophy, overbuilt, smooth, and with a parts ecosystem so deep that you can rebuild one for under $500. The M54 was used in E46 and E39 chassis, which means swap compatibility is well documented and the community support is massive. Third, if you're in a Toyota or Nissan truck platform with a modern variable valve timing 4-cylinder, the swap is the Toyota 22RE, a 2.4-liter engine produced from 1985 to 1995. Carbureted or fuel injected depending on the year. Zero electronic complexity. Cast iron block. Documented cases of 500,000 miles of continuous operation in commercial fleets in Southeast Asia and Australia. Parts cost almost nothing because they haven't changed in 40 years. Fourth, if you're driving a modern diesel with a DPF system, EGR valve, and AdBlue injection, the full emissions control stack that adds $3,000 to $5,000 in potential failure costs every 100,000 miles, the swap is the Toyota 1HZ, a 4.2-liter inline-six diesel produced through the 1990s and early 2000s, mechanically injected. No electronics, no emissions equipment. It produces less power than a modern diesel. It also produces fewer failure points than a modern diesel by a significant margin. Now let's talk about why this is being fought at the legislative level. Because this is not just a mechanical story. The right to repair movement, which I have covered on this channel, is the public face of this battle. The argument from manufacturers is framed around safety and emissions compliance. The reality is about control of the repair ecosystem. When you own a post-2015 vehicle, the engine communicates with 40 to 60 other modules through a proprietary CAN bus system. Replacing the engine without the manufacturer's diagnostic software means those communication protocols break down. Warning lights, limp mode, features that stop working. The manufacturer designed this integration deliberately, not because it makes the car better, but because it makes the car unrepairable outside of the authorized network. In the United States, the EPA's tampering prohibition under the Clean Air Act technically restricts engine swaps on vehicles manufactured after certain model years for on-road use. The enforcement is inconsistent and largely depends on state-level emissions testing. But the regulatory framework exists, and manufacturers have lobbied consistently to tighten it. In Europe, Euro 7 emission standards create an additional layer. Any engine swap that results in a vehicle no longer meeting its original emission certification is technically a modification that voids type approval, which means in ZFE zones, the same zones I covered in a previous video, a swapped vehicle could face the same restrictions as a non-compliant original engine. The window to do this legally and practically is open right now. It is narrowing. Here is how to actually execute this swap. Step 1. Identify your chassis as a swap candidate. The best candidates share three characteristics: a robust frame that will outlast multiple engine generations, sufficient engine bay clearance to accommodate a swap without fabrication, and an existing community that has already documented the process. The strongest candidates right now are the Toyota Hilux and Land Cruiser platforms, the Jeep Cherokee XJ, the Ford Ranger pre-2012, and European platforms like the BMW E46 and Volkswagen Golf MK3 and MK4. Step 2. Source the engine correctly. You want a pulled engine with documented mileage from a reputable salvage yard or a rebuilt unit from a specialist. For the K24, the 22RE, and the M54, expect to pay between $300 and $800 for a good used unit. Have it compression tested before installation. Check the valve cover for sludge. Pull the oil cap and look for emulsification. Step 3. Budget realistically. Engine costs $300 to $800. Mounting adapters and fabrication if required $200 to $600. Independent mechanic labor $500 to $1,500. Miscellaneous sensors, gaskets, and fluids $100 to $300. Total realistic range $800 to $2,500. Compare that to the average new car payment of $700 per month for 60 months. You are buying back years of ownership for the cost of 2 car payments. Step 4. Verify your local legal requirements before you start. In most U.S. states with emissions testing, a swap must use an engine from a vehicle of the same year or newer. Some states have specific exemptions for pre-OBD2 vehicles. Check your state's DMV and Emissions Authority websites directly, not forums, not YouTube comments. The official source. Your car does not need to die at 150,000 miles. The entire narrative around high mileage being a death sentence for a vehicle is manufactured, sometimes literally, by the same industry that profits when you walk into a showroom. The swap exists, the engines exist, the community knowledge exists. What the industry is working to eliminate is your legal access to it. Drop your car make, model, and current mileage in the comments. I will tell you directly whether this swap applies to your specific situation and which engine gives you the best shot at 400,000 miles. Next video, the 4 engines currently in production that have documented cases of hitting 500,000 miles without a rebuild. One of them is probably sitting in a car you can buy for under $5,000 right now.